is ready. So it looks like the first map is going to be Inferno, and it will be between G2 and Cloud9. Now, Tom, be blunt with me, okay? Be blunt. Do you think this is going to be a one-sided match?
I honestly don't know, because I think that G2 should win this fairly dominantly, but at the same time, they're definitely a team that have had slip-ups. And Cloud9, although sure they're playing against Daytona, they looked fairly decent yesterday. Like Automatic was playing well. We even saw some good plays coming out from Rush. So if they can at least get to like a good level individually, then I think they can challenge like most teams. Like there's a lot of talent on this roster still, but we just haven't seen that.
Automatic yesterday was amazing.
Yeah.
Especially on the Scout and the AWP. But I feel like I want to see Kenny get back to true Kenny form. I'm talking like 2013, well 2012, good old days of seeing him and the amazing things he could do on the AWP. Obviously, the op has changed a bit since then. The movement speed when using it has changed up and forced him to change up his style quite a bit. Cloud9 are going to be down a man here on Inferno. And my main man there, he's my Thunder buddy. Do you know that?
Yeah, you've said that before.
I told him, I was like, I'm glad to be your Thunder buddy today on Twitter. It looks like a little bit of a fake coming in towards the B site. Unfortunately, Golden his death won't be fake. As Jack doing a good job of staying alive, but unfortunately the rotates weren't going to be there in time. I don't believe Kenny was able to help assist him. And actually, Kenny trying to force another fight when maybe they just wait for the reinforcements to come back through from the B site. Now Rush gets the kill. He has 2 so far in this round, and has turned it into a 3-on-3.
And now this becomes quite a difficult scenario. They look to try and get themselves back in. They're going to smoke off mid, which will allow them to negate Automatic. At the same time, he's just able to reposition. They're going to go peeking into the pit. Rush also in a crossfire with Vice. We'll spot one, but Lucky just domes him straight away. Another for Lucky as well. And Automatic looking to come in on the flank, at least trying to deny the diffusal, but Shox is just sticking it. It may actually go off. I don't think they've got this. It's going to be so close. And no, the bomb's gone off. Automatic did enough. The fact is, him taking a little bit longer to get that kill is what wins him the round. If he just ints the headshot and then they trade, then they probably get that defusal.
4 million gazillion IQ play out of Automatic. Would you agree?
Was that the right way round?
What's that?
The odds were in the odds were in favor of Cloud9, so I'm guessing that's wrong.
I was too busy looking in your eyes, so I didn't actually see it. Women are just jealous of your eyelashes, I swear.
I have actually heard that before, which is worrying.
I'm curious though why they didn't body block for him.
I think they tried.
No, they didn't.
I'm pretty sure.
At least the angle Automatic was shooting from what we saw.
Automatic got a kill. They killed him through someone.
You sure?
Fairly.
All right, Bastion, go to Kenny S if he's wrong. All right,
he's
my
do
boy,
that no
my man, my main man. All right, but either way, good job by Cloud9. That was still a little bit too risky. I mean, with Lucky getting the nice little double entries onto the site, that should have been the round to take. But now G2 playing from behind, Jax playing from the grave.
Always knew Bastion uses auto-director.
Now I know why you don't have very many friends.
Who needs friends?
Don't worry, I'm always here for you, Tom. No. Until you start talking smack about me, then I'm like, screw off. Golden gets a little push into Arch, actually catches out Kenny. Omnic able to respond, and I feel like Omnic and Kenny have been playing pretty well as well as of late. Omnic has always been a name that's really stood out within the French scene within the last few years. Lucky. And Shox able to chime in, able to stall for time, and Lucky hitting some great shots. Automatic comes through. Omnic comes through the smoke.
That was really close.
That was too close for comfort.
Yeah, the MAC-10 almost making the difference. And, did G2 go for this now? Like, the money's not great, but they did so much damage, there must be a temptation. Like, you know that they're going to be able to buy into the next round comfortably with whatever they want. So they could just, again, just play it safe, make sure they get all the utility. But especially from a French team, you know that there's the temptation that they want to force. Because they have been the force by Kings, well, from generation to generation.
Yep. Thinking back to the good old days when Kenny and MBK were on the team together.
Oh, Happy was always pretty damn good. I still remember that clip from Inferno where, wasn't it you, Carson?
No,
oh, no, it was Semler.
Why? Semler and I do not sound the same. How dare you? He is way more attractive of a person and a voice than I am.
I love how when you knew or you didn't know I was just winding you up and you go, no, it was, ah. I saw the pain in your eyes.
God. You know what? To be fair, Hugo and Harry do sound like Machine and Henry G.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Matt Andrews sounds like Red Eye.
Don't tell him you said that.
3 MAC-10s here for Cloud9 and 2 AKs. And G2 did not go for the force-up, though they do have a couple of pistols here. Kenny, ooh, he's going for the jump around. Goes in towards Boiler, looks for the Rishi for the shot towards Boiler, spots no one. So he goes towards middle, and Golden gets himself a nice quick 2 kills. Like, can you do it again? Has anyone ever made like a Britney Spears reference with him when casting him?
I don't know.
Do you know who Britney Spears is?
Yeah.
Okay.
She's the one who shaved her head. She was actually
so now
doing
you
that
feel
just
really
to
close
look like me, yeah. She's my idol.
Me and her have so much in common. We both shave our heads. But lucky though, I mean, let's be realistic. 1v4 after plan situation, no chance to really get much, if anything. However, the money should be looking good for G2. And this is where on the CT7 Inferno, they need to start picking up some rounds. Lucky looks like a French Tarek. Can you see that? I can see it. I see it. I totally see it. He looks like a French Tarek.
Okay.
No?
I don't feel like I've stared at Tarek's face long
How
enough.
have you not?
Is that what you do before bed? You have like a framed photo of
Yeah.
him?
Of course. Doesn't everyone? No
Well,
shirt
I'm
TV?
pretty sure most of Cloud9 probably do. It's like, come back.
Baby, come back.
But they've got off to a good start here. It is going to be still some SMGs, but this is the fallback coming out, and Jax will burn automatic down. An aggressive take attempted, but failed. The AWP for Kenny as well, which I think this is the map that everybody always wanted to see him with that AWP, but Vice able to get a trade. He's so low and just goes pushing forward. Shocks comfortably gets that trade kill. AWP shot won't be connected. Of course, this is a bit of a bonus round for Cloud9. Kenny is going to be forced off the angle, trying to peek into the Molotov, but instead just finds damage, and Jax is there to get the kill instead. The bomb actually going to start going back, maybe just to check that nobody's pushing down Banana. Cajun's so far within this A site that retreat may not be an option. The only real benefit of this is the fact that they might be able to get the kill onto Shocks, but it seems like it's just a bit of a bait, and it worked. Kenny looks to start peeking into short. They now know that he's here. Nade even going to do damage onto Amanek as well. But he's just holding strong, waiting patiently. Peek about to be coming in. Cajun spots him, wins that duel as well. The trade from Jax is clean, however. Golden just going to look to try and get a bomb plant, but in the 1v2, he's going to have to pull something special off the nade. Well, we were hoping to follow that, but it bounces off the wall. It won't matter. Shocks is there to close, and G2 have their first round onto the board.
I did like Jax deciding to go for the push in towards Banana once they realized there was nothing really off the back of that smoke. And Cajun catching out Kenny. So Kenny was looking towards apartments, actually. He was trying to barrel down that position, maybe expecting the guy in pit to be watching his other angle. But it didn't work out in that direction, and unfortunately he did get caught out, and Cloud9 did still get the bomb down nonetheless. They still get the extra income from that. They can't afford to force up another round. But G2, this is where things are going to get tricky because they were able to maintain the up, but the money's not really going to be there into the next if they lose this one. Tom, look at Amanek.
Man after my own heart. Here's also someone who's really enjoyable to play. To watch.
Hey, you do you, man.
Hey, if he wants to join my matchmaking team, then I'm down. I think we'd do very well together, and by that I mean he would win me games. Nade trade. Shocks takes a bit of damage, but Vice pretty much eats that nade. And it has to use the smoke. It's just not worth the risk. Lots of utility damage. Amanek getting so aggressive, and I like this. He got a little bit of a trade situation. Rush. We'll take him down, though. Not going to work out for him. Now actually, T's looking like they want to try and execute onto this side of the map. They've got rid of the aggressor in the apartments. Maybe expected there to be less defensive just because of that. However, the rotation already in from Shox. Jack's forced off the angle now as well. Cloud9 actually taking quite a bit of map control.
Golden doing a good job, actually, of really locking down Archway. Gets a smoke off towards Arch. They have a smoke going towards Library. They already Molotov'd off. I believe that was Jackson, forced him over towards Pit. Now Kenny's forced a whole different angle because they've lost the long control. The problem is, it's still a two-person split between both sites, and they're going to need the defenders from the B site momentarily. Jack's only able to get one. Now Kenny in the Pit. Can he somehow come up big first team? He's unfortunately going to miss that shot. And Rush will be make sure to secure that kill. And now the rest of Cloud9, I'm imagining, sorry, for G2, are going to be saving these weapons.
I don't know, Rush has had a really strong start to this game. Like, we've talked about how Cloud9 recently, their form has been very far off, even just individually. Like, it's only really been automatic, sort of being tainted as someone who is worth keeping within the roster. We've had rumored moves, which have both Golden and Vice supposedly leaving the team. But at least for now, Rush is definitely here to play. Wow. Oh, nice shot from Golden as well. Shock's going to be the last remaining survivor, just hoping to hold on to his gun. They will have lowered their own loss bonus a bit, so not going to get a massive amount of cash going into this round, and may even just have to take the hit and wait for next round to actually get a buyback in again. So yeah, Cloud9 off to a flying start.
Would you say this is kind of unexpected out of them, actually? I mean, obviously it's early stages of the game. I understand that, early stages of the map. But like Rush has really been doing well, 8 and 3 at the moment. Automatic again, the clutch was able to pull off, killing the diffuser just a split second late enough, I guess is the correct way to say it. Stop any sort of re-diffuse to come through. I don't know, I feel like G2 just haven't gotten comfortable yet on the map. Or haven't really had the opportunity to pull off enough gun rounds with exactly what they need. Kenny has really been, well, he's had 0 impact, let's say so far. I believe he's actually 0 kills at the moment.
Yeah,
0 and 5.
He's had his ult once and
hit it twice. He did get it 2 rounds. They were able to recover on the round they won.
Okay. Yeah.
But he basically had it 0 times because he hasn't gotten a single kill with it.
We'll see if he can do anything with the Deeg. Sat at the back of the site. The flashbang's good, but Ice will take him down anyway. Oh, lucky. Well, Shox is just saving. Like, there shouldn't be any world where he's trying to fight this one back. Just depends how far he actually goes forward. KGM is ready and waiting. A long-held lurk, and he's rewarded for it as well. That AK will hit the deck. Lucky. I believe he's got all of his kills with pistols as well. And get a couple in the pistol round, managed to get one. Well, nothing here. 5-1. Strong start by Cloud9. The problem I'm having with this series is even if they manage to take this map away, the next map is Overpass, which, well, according to HLTV, in the last 3 months, they have a 0% win rate on.
How many times have they played it, though?
6.
But who have they played it against? Make you work for it.
MIBR, Ints, MIBR, Na'Vi, FaZe, and Liquid. So yeah, that's fair. The Ints loss probably was a little bit more painful, but they definitely have some sporadic players. Ooh, that's a way to start. Kenny S will take the head clean off of Golden, who said he's yet to have too much or any impact so far in this game, but that's a pretty decent way to start. An aggressive peek into middle. And it's going to give the man advantage over to G2. Now we get to see whether or not Cloud9 can actually look to turn some of these rounds. We saw Automatic do it in the pistol, but he had the bomb to his aid.
If you look at Kenny's ADR, by the way, 6.
It's probably gone up quite a bit now.
I'm not trying to refer to the performance necessarily, but that just shows like he's been doing almost no damage when he gets killed. We saw him with the op previously where a player was able to push in against him and eliminate him. I don't think he's just been given an opportunity just yet to really hit anything. He's just had a couple of rounds where he's been killed so quickly that he hasn't been able to be effective. But maybe this is the round. Well, at least it's the round for Omnic as he gets a triple. Kenny has fallen, unfortunately. So Op is free on the ground to be picked up by G2. Vice now all alone. Nade goes in, looking for Jackson. He gets him. He still has 3 more to find, and Omnic will get his quad kill, his 4th of the round, and G2 will now take another round and double what they had previously.
Amanek took all of his damage from HEs. He got naded 3 times. Literally, they double naded from the balcony into the pit, and then Vice threw in another one at the end, which finally killed him. Yeah, Jax.
Okay, I was like, yeah, poor Jax.
Just got absolutely wrecked. Strong round from Amanek, though. They actually had the pit and balcony combo, which is not something you see too often, and I think that's why Cloud9 actually got caught off by it. Kenny as well now onto the board, and well, this is what Inferno is at the moment. The first, say, 20, 30 seconds of the round is basically just both teams expending as much utility as they can over onto Banana to try and gain some control and do some damage. An almost even trade, 1 HP difference. As we see the grenades go down Banana. And then they just fall back. Golden, though, is going to pick off Kenny. His luck is not getting any better, and Amanek is now the only man looking to try and defend this site. He did very well in the last round. Picks off 1, but the trade is good from Rush. And this actually leaves the site completely open. But the CTs are sticking with their gamble. I imagine if there is a push into the A site, they'll just save. Don't really have a choice at this point, and their gambles so far on this map have not been successful. I think they really needed Kenny to stay alive in this scenario. Like, it really became too much of a reliance on Amanek to kill everyone.
And I feel like it's not necessarily Cloud9 like punishing him. Like, we're not seeing flashes used or smokes used to cut off his angles. It's just been, they've been winning aim battles.
Yep.
Just consistent aim battles against him to just really nullify his power. And when you have such a prolific opera like Kenny S on your team, for him to just be null and void with no flashes, no smokes being invested into that, what do you do to come back from that? He's got to wake up somehow, and I'm not sure what G2 are going to do to get him out of his snooze. Like, Cloud9, credit to them. T side of Inferno going to be up 6-2 now.
Yeah, even going to be able to retrieve an AWP as well. And Automatic was very prolific on the AWP yesterday.
Yeah. So I was wondering, you know, because we were talking about this yesterday and kind of like theorizing, if technically the rumors are true about Cloud9, this would be the perfect moment. Obviously, there's like 2 kinds of people. There's kind of people who'd be like, oh, well, I'm done. Like, why should I even try in this tournament, right? Like, you have that kind of sense. But on the other end, you also have Lucky dying, but you also have the fact of, well, I'm a professional player and I'm still looking to join another team, right? If there's not an offer now, I have to create an offer. And by performing well with the team at this moment, even if the rumors are true or not, that's your like big opportunity to get your name back out there. And so far, Cloud9, whether the rumors are real, have been doing relatively well so far in this tournament. I mean, yeah, they're in the lower side of the bracket, but they're still looking decent.
The thing is, though, I think a lot of the players who are actually playing well are also players who I don't think would have any trouble finding another team. Like, I don't think there's going to be any problems for Automatic. And again, I don't really think there'll be too much of a problem for Rush either. And they've been the 2 really standout players. Vice has still been struggling a fair bit. So maybe needing a bit of a step up from him. But it's just going to be the trade early on. It doesn't look like they actually kept that AWP. So they definitely found one, but Automatic's just playing the rifle instead. Doing very well at it, I might add. Gets his 8th kill of the game so far. It's only going to be the weapon that was saved into this round on Shocks that will be utilized. He's now staying on that A site. And that has been where we've seen the majority of rounds played from Cloud9. So understandable that he's going to take his fight here within the pit as well. We may even just see, again, another gamble stack coming in, a rotation all the way round from Amanek. Molotov thrown in, Automatic definitely trying to sell a bit of a fake, but they still have time if they really wanted to push back. Molotov now going to be thrown in to try and clear Shocks from the angle. He really does have to be an absolute hero here.
It's going to be tough to be able to pull this off. He does have Kenny in sight, but Kenny, unfortunately, just as quick as I talk about him, does fall Cajun B. God, just Shocks looking the wrong way. Now Omnic, he's got a 4K before, but he didn't do it with the CZ that time, and he's not going to do it with the CZ this time. And Cloud9 now 7-2 in the lead of T-side Inferno. And it looks like G2 are going to be taking a timeout, a much-needed timeout, let's be honest here, Tom, because they are struggling in this series so far. currently. Yeah, I mean, like, it's not like Cloud9 has been able to string together necessarily like a ton of rounds. And they got 3, and then they got broken up, then 2, and then broken up. But they're also keeping the economy in check, I feel like, out of G2. And with the way they've been buying up, it seems like they're really heavily investing into an AWP almost every time for Kenny that they possibly can. Which, why wouldn't you? If you can get some control, if he can just get going, you know, get into his groove, that's where you can see a major turnaround happen for G2. Or maybe if Omnic can continue to play at that 4K pace. Or if Lucky can get a kill with something other than a pistol. Not trying to be harsh, I'm just, that is interesting though.
Well, they're gonna choose to go away from the AWP this time. Could have been bought up for Kenny, but they've decided the utility, well, mainly on the B side, is going to be far more important for them, and they are going to stack players there early on once again. Maybe get some aggression going. Incendiary will be thrown deep. It's going to isolate Vice. He's actually going to peek into it, looking for the kill, but will be taken down early. Automatic again, looking to try and trade back. Well, it's actually going to be double smoked. A lot of utility being expended to try and hold him back at this point, but 2 smokes aren't really better than 1. Rush so close to getting rid of Shocks. The dink hit through the wall. They're going to take control of this arch once more. They've already got short play being made, and Jax again is going to be hit up by a nade, but not to a huge extent this time. Although there's an advantage in terms of players, the T side have still done a lot of damage. Golden now going to be tagged up. Amanek drops in towards the pit. Him and Shocks combine to get a double. It's now left on Automatic and Cajun to try and bring this back.
Oh, Automatic won't have a chance. Now Cajun B up against 5. Now 4. Almost 3 there. Shocks does clean him up. Maybe this is the game plan here for G2 now. Maybe they realize the op is just not working out. Let's just go for the assault rifles and make sure we have that utility every round that we possibly need. I saw a little wince from you when I said that. I mean, yeah, the op's not worked, period, for Kenny so far.
I don't think it's that. I think it's just that he would have had to be bought it by someone else, and that was Shocks, who was playing B. So I don't think that he's moving away from it. I think they just don't have the money to invest into it, at least without risking more than at the moment it's worth, because he hasn't had the impact that's needed. I think if they build up a bank, or if they find one on the floor, he's definitely going to go back to it again. Like, I think if you ever get to a point where Kenny stops wanting to play the AWP, then there's a bigger problem than anything. Nade's doing a lot of damage. They're getting this trade in the early rounds of Banana. But this time, Vice is going to be able to get aggressive. He's lost a lot of these duels. Incendiary will force him back, and he's going to be tagged by utility as well. Still has an angle here. Automatic's actually the one to get the kill. Shock's going to try and re-aggress. They're attempting this 3-man hold towards Banana, but the Banana holds haven't actually been too successful. Rush, however, will peek in over onto the other side. Amanek does a lot of damage. The nade may even help him finish it off, but Rush just continues his push, closes out one more, and leaves just 2 men remaining on that G2 side. They are struggling at the moment.
But again, he walks into the A site, no flash, just wins aim battles.
Yeah, it was working.
It shouldn't happen that way. Like, G2 should not be letting these kills slip through their fingers so easily. And if Rush is able to get the confidence like that and just walk into a site time and time again, how does G2 bounce back? Maybe they need to get aggressive. Maybe they stop playing so passive at these sites. And as you can see across the board, they're being closed in on this B site. Shock's able to get 1 onto Vice. There's going to be 3 players, though, coming in from this side of the smoke. Jax could actually play spoiler here if he's able to get quite a few. No, he doesn't even get a single one.
No.
Gets dropped, and now Shock's just trying to keep this AK, trying to keep some sort of weapon. It looks like Golden's trying to rush down B to spot him out, but the smoke's going to cover off his retreat. And Cloud9 will now be up 8-3.
Yeah, the problem really for G2 is just the fact that they keep winning one round and then losing one straight back again. They really are struggling at the moment. Well, they have to take a pause. They have to take a moment, try and think through what they're going to actually do in this scenario. This is something we always wanted to see, though, from Cloud9. Not like Golden's always going to be that sort of in-game leader player who doesn't necessarily frag too highly. You've got Cage and B, who again is more of a supportive role. The people who are supposed to be the stars, you look towards people like Automatic, Rush, and potentially Vice. We didn't really know what to expect in that regard. The fact that Automatic and Rush are now just showing that they're at least hitting that ceiling and just absolutely decimating G2, this is kind of what we always wanted to see from them. Be it that they can just pure Angel the majority of players. Like, you have to remember, they did manage to get themselves a major under their belt. They didn't do that just to being like a little bit lucky and, oh yeah, we were kind of good. They were a very good team. It just got picked apart. And these were the pieces left back. Fact is, though, in this round, well, Shox is now going to have to be that standout player. He's been one for years. When this lineup was formed, it was more off the basis of it being Shox and Kenny, but Shox is no more. Vice will now step up to get that opening pick. Leaving just pistols, a bit of Kevlar remaining. We know that Lucky's got the majority of his kills with this gun, but not this time. Vice gets the second, and the B site is now completely open.
Are
Kenny
they just playing Gladiator? Is that a term that you're familiar with in Counter-Strike? I don't know if it like...
It's more like we have to 1v1 him sort of thing.
No, so I guess it was maybe just a US thing. Maybe there's a different term in Europe where Gladiators basically, all of you sit and spawn and you send one player out to try to go ace, and once he dies, then the next player goes. Because he was just walking in basically, I mean, there's people behind him, but he was just pulling off these 1v1s time and time again, and now Cloud9 are on the cusp of pulling off a 9-3 lead for this first half, and Vice gets 4. Vice gets pistols, yeah, but still, being able to, I want to say get confidence, especially for players like Vice, confidence to be able to take on these legends within Counter-Strike out of G2 and hit these shots is very important. And now we're going to see Kenny back on the AWP. Only 2 kills, and I hate to hammer on one person, but I mean, that's how impactful Kenny can be when he's on point. We know how good of a player he is. We know how strong and how much he can turn the tides of an entire map once he gets going. But the fact of the matter is, he's just been relatively unimpactful so far. And Vice again, winning another trade towards B.
I like how you said trade before he died.
Yeah, we saw the fire coming.
Rush even going to take some utility damage himself. Again, they're just going so aggressive, and it's not working. It is not working. Like, they're constantly trying to fight. Shox is now going to look to recreate the scenario once again. Such high-risk plays coming out of G2, and yeah, Shox is now going to go down through the smoke as well. That's 3 players who have just run down Banana, and at different times as well. This is a really disjointed defense, or it's not even defense, offense almost. Now the smoke has a gap in it. Kenny's given a chance, but he doesn't manage to connect the shot. Can't trace him through the smoke. He's going to have to rotate back, but he hits it this time. Still, though, there's been a push out, a quick trade.
And they know where Kenny is, so they know that the safe site's wide open. I don't think Kenny's even try for this. What's the point? They have no money. You might as well try to save this off into the next round, and he's going to know in a few moments here that the bomb will be planted towards the A site. Cloud9 have all the money in the world to work with here, so they could challenge out against this if they want. And Golden, he's going to have an opportunity. He's been able to shut down Kenny in almost every exchange so far. Can he do it again?
Not a phrase I thought I'd hear, but... Oh! Yeah, he will. That is definitely not a phrase you thought you'd hear go into this game. In 1v1 duels, Golden has been beating Kenny ass. Especially because, as of recent, Kenny's been in some pretty decent form. So the fact that he's getting destroyed on a map that used to be his bread and butter. I still remember the Titan days where this used to be a map they just go to because Kenny would drop 35 kills or more.
Yeah. I remember the Titan days. I think I cast one of their last tournaments, the MS1 Major, back in 2014.
I am so surprised no one has tried to revive that org. Like, really surprised.
Oh my god, this nade damage again.
I think at some point, maybe after this round, we need to look at the utility damage.
Yeah, can we see that after this round?
Vice, because he's been hitting so many nades that have just done like 100 damage or more. He's also taken a lot of damage, and yep.
Case in point.
It has been a lot of trade nade damage, but again, this is their strategy. Push down Banana, and this is where Automatic is getting so many kills. He's got 14. I'm pretty sure all of them have been on banana. Here we go. Push through. The flashbang this time to support. We'll get them a kill back. In the meantime, we're seeing some probing over onto the A site. It's a turtled up defense for this CT side as they sit right within the bomb site.
Turtle duck defense.
Turtled up.
Oh, turtled up. I was like, what does a duck have to do with it?
Could have been a turtle dove.
Could have been. And it could have been Golden again. Like, he only has 7 kills, but he has very impactful kills. The bomb's going to be dropped now with 30 seconds left to go. Rush, though, is flanking towards B, but unfortunately, KGB's fallen. It looks like G2 might be able to take a 4th round here. Bomb's still very far away, and Rush, he's going to have to walk straight through the smoke. Will Jax actually be expected? As we can see, he's looking already in this direction, and he can already spam him out, and he gets the kill. Another round goes to G2, though it's only 4 out of the first 14.
Yeah, very aggressive round this time, actually playing off. And this time is one of the first times I think we've actually seen them use a flashbang to get somebody blind down the other side. Can we have a quick look at the utility damage? Where
Okay, that can't be right.
Yeah, Vice, no, 224. That's actually why I expected.
333 for shocks? Was that the Molotovs?
Well, no, they have been dunking nades down there almost every single time.
That's
so
true.
I think, yeah, that's about right. And then automatic 371. It's that same nade that's just been thrown up there every single time. Like, them two combined, over 500 damage. And even more, Jax is almost dead, and he'll be caught up by Golden. This is what Inferno has become, just this utility battle. Vice now is probably happy that they don't have any more grenades, but he's actually caught out by the flash. Almost goes down to that alone, and Lucky will peek in. Amanek as well has found one on the other side of the map and is able to retrieve an AK-47. He's expecting someone to have pushed through, but as of yet, they're still sat passive. They've left Lucky alone this time on B. And that seems to be where the T's are going to group up.
$50 seconds left, and Cloud9 are taking their time. However, they are setting up for a push in towards B. Lucky. Hopefully he can live up to his name here, because G2 desperately need these rounds. Looks like he will be able to stay away from the majority of the fire being thrown in his direction, but he can't stay away from the bullets that Golden is shooting out of his gun. And there should be a bomb being planted. However, Shock's off to the side, trying to spam through the smoke, but just gets spammed down to his death. Now it's all on Amanek against nothing, because he's dead too. And Cloud9 will come out at the end of the first half with 11-4 scoreline. We'll find out if maybe G2 can turn the tides, maybe turn their chances around here after a short break. Welcome back, everyone, to our second half of our second match of our first map between Cloud9 and G2 Esports. And no, you don't need glasses. No, you don't need to adjust your monitors. 11-4 is the scoreline in favor of Cloud9, as they have taken an outstanding lead from their T side of Inferno. Jason Kappen still joined here by Tom Biz, luckily, as he's carried me through all of the action today that we have for you. And it looks like the battle's still going to continue. It's the battle for Banana.
And this time, not so much utility involved. T's going to be going to try and get some control. There's still 3 players on that side of the map, and some aggression coming out from Rush into the apartments, basically just trying to hear if there's any sort of rotations. Something I wanted to... Oh. Going to have to wait on that one as they start getting a little bit aggressive. Automatic's going to pick off another, and now they just look to fall back a little bit towards the site as the push does look to come in. There's still a couple of smokes to be had, but just look at the aggression still coming in from Rush. Pushing down, further forward into these apartments, trying to look for that information. The T's wary of it. You can tell they're worried that there's going to be someone around this spot. Golden rotating back towards A just in case. 45 seconds left. It still looks like this T side are pretty set on going towards B.
Still going to be met up against 2 players, though. But no utility between the two to help stop this defense. If anything, they just need to stay alive. The rotate's not coming in for Golden. Will they expect Cajun B to be here after Automatic has already given away his position? Going for a bait here, but hoping Automatic can hit the shot. But they're actually going to spot out Cajun B before he even has a chance to get any kills. And unfortunately, it's not going to work out for him. Golden wasn't able to push the smoke at the right time, but now Rush rotating from Banana. And it just seems like it's all gone south here for Cloud9 as G2, with just 3 players, are able to get the bomb down on the B site. And 2 HP for Golden, now 0 HP. And G2 will start their potentially long journey, their long climb, back to equalizing things between them and C9.
Yeah, a solid pistol from them. They play off of the fact that you imagine somebody's going to rotate away once you take so long to actually get towards the site. It's something I wanted to point out as well, that in the series yesterday versus NRG, Kenny averaged 30 kills a map. So he dropped, well, I'll go through it. I think on Train, he gets himself 24, then he gets 37 on Dust 2, and then he gets 28 on Overpass. So he was one of their standout performance, and in this game so far, he is on 3. Again,
that just means the next 2 maps, he's just gonna really shine.
Yeah, it needs... average a little bit higher, or we could come back in this half, Jason.
It's true. I mean, what? Look at Crims.
Yep.
Had 1 kill at the end of the first half for Dust 2. Then he finished off, I think, 2nd on the scoreboard. So
it's definitely possible to have a resurgence. Although on this map, you'd normally expect Europa to have a much stronger CT side, but this is Kenny S. Oh, here he is. Going to be making his push around. Rush is going to be able to pick off shocks. Retrieving that weapon, not going to be easy, but they are going to go pushing now in towards the site. Golden already tagged. Jax just executes Cajun B. And they know that there's 1 more man around. They haven't found Rush just yet. I wonder if they might even just opt to save here, because you've got some utility, or had some utility, and had some upgraded pistols. Getting back into this A site is not going to be easy, and Amanek will confirm that as he picks off 1 more. Now Automatic left. 1 versus 3. Picks up the Galil and probably just going to exit.
Thing is, if he can stop them from rotating out, like, they can't sit in sight. So economy-wise, he actually could punish them quite heavily if he's just able to let this bomb explode and not. Okay, more that can happen.
Well, there you go. Kenny already up to 5 kills. A couple more in this round, and 11-6. This is the chance for them to farm up some cash as well with the SMG on Amanek. I wonder if maybe they'll pull in 1 more. In fact, it's going to be chucked over. And this will be next to nothing. Nade picked up for Rush. I wonder if maybe we'll see a couple more invested into. It depends what they actually want here. So yeah, Automatic, there you go. That's going to be the trio of HEs. And by the looks of things, they're all just going to be thrown straight down Banana. There's been a lot of aggression there, so understandable. Oh, Shock's actually just going to get very aggressive straight up in towards these CT players. 2 kills to his name, $1,200 made, and plenty more where that came from.
I just got married too, so he could use that money maybe for his honeymoon.
Or just to maybe recuperate some of the money he lost on the wedding.
Yeah.
Hey, they're expensive.
There's two kinds of people, Tom. Unlucky's able to get a big kill here on Device. I say big kill, it's against pistols. And Golden trying to channel his inner fountain. Just gonna move on from that one because it went really bad all of a sudden. Probably did.
I do that at home all the time. I'm just like, I am the fountain. I am the fountain.
Well, it was more of fountain or shower.
What? So you channel your inner shower.
Tom, who was the player? Who was the player I was talking about?
What? Shocks?
No. Who was hiding behind the fountain?
I don't know.
Good.
Oh, I do know now.
So, well, I'll probably be fired here very shortly, but in the meantime, I'm going to continue to cast because Cloud9 are losing the lead they had of the 11-4 scoreline in the first half. G2's been able to take 3. Now we're starting to get into the gun rounds here for the Cloud9 boys.
Well.
You could take a round off here.
Don't worry, I'm used to it. Rush. It's going to be overwhelmed. Jax able to get that opening pick. We are going to have the push continuing in. They know the KHMB's around this area. Someone still manages to get a kill, but the T's aggressive push has been working so far. They managed to clear out the site in automatic. Already looks like he's getting pushed into a save. Nade will go over the top. A little bit of damage done. He's looking to pad his utility damage stats, because other than that, they're just going to have to fade away from this one. So G2 really starting to build into this T side, and Cloud9 seemingly having the same problems that they did, but at least being able to save here will give them the opportunity to go for a buy into the next round, be able to drop a couple of weapons just based off the loss bonus building up, and still get a reasonable amount of utility as well. So 3 players is the bare minimum they want, though.
Trying to decide if it's surprising to me to see Cloud9 do so well T side versus doing badly CT side.
Maybe it just shows that there's a lack of synergy between them, which it can always be a problem within a team if you're just picking up people from different places. Like you have a Swedish in-game leader, a Danish support player, and then 3 guys from North America. So
I really thought you were going to say something else. Like America or something.
Trumpland. That's what it'll be renamed over the next 6 months. He's going to turn it all into Trump-themed theme park.
I'm not touching that. I'm not touching that at all. I am not getting fired. So, Theresa May, though.
They have a lot of grabbing machines. That's a top quality joke. I don't even care. Here we go. T side looking to brute force this A side once again. Rush will be able to get 1, but that is all she wrote. CT side this time looking to rotate in, but again, they're at such a disadvantage. They don't have much utility to retake, and this almost looks like an attempted quick kill and then just fade back out once again. G2 with these fast-paced rounds have been able to do so well, and it's looking like they are starting to make this comeback possible. It looked like a game that was pretty much done after the first half, with Kenny not performing and, well, not getting much done overall. Just aggressive banana plays was all that was really in G2's playbook, but on the T side at least, they're looking fairly solid.
I mean, on CT side for G2, they just got dismantled. Whether it was Kenny losing the aim battles 1v1 in middle, whether it was them losing control of Banana and Vice, able to get like 1 or 2 kills, or even automatic doing so, they just got dissected bit by bit. And on the T side, it seems like they're able to really turn the tide. Maybe the fact of maybe synergy lacking within Cloud9 is one of the big factors of the team that's caused them to have some rough moments. And maybe G2's using that to their advantage here. I mean, they've been able to take the last 5 rounds straight now. They're on a big streak, and they're continuing this momentum as they're going to be going into round number 21. Looking for more. Kenny still not offing, by the way. Another Molotov coming in out of Amanik as he's going to rush straight forward. There's going to be a man towards sandbags, and Vice, unfortunately, gets caught and burned down, and now Lucky might be sharing the same fate. Look at the amount of damage now done to G2 yet again. I swear, we're going to have to look at utility damage another time. But G2, they get a kill, they back away, and they have another...
Oh!
So you remember the double op headshot he got on Dust 2?
Yeah.
There's another one. Nice little collateral from Automatic, making it look all too simple. And, well, Jax was waiting. But still, that helped equalize things. Actually gave the man advantage for a short amount of time. Problem is, Rush is by him, loans himself here in towards Pit. Will anyone check this? He has the opportunity to pull off a couple of 1v1 aim battles, but the Molotov is going to force him out of position. The smoke going to come in to buy him some time. But Jax just can't seem to find exactly where he's going to be. And Golden comes up big. Rush as well. Now it's going to be down to Shox versus 2. He does have Bomb. If he can get this kill on a Cajun, which he's not even going to be looking for him, that would have been a potential plant. But Cloud9 finally stopped the rot. After losing 5 straight, they will take a round and put themselves on 12.
Very interesting moves going down elsewhere as well. NIP made a change. They've got rid of Dennis and brought in Plopsky, another youngster who's going to be joining the Swedish roster. It just played for Ancient recently, and they came second. It's unfortunate for them for sure, because he is a massive talent. But yeah, that's a big change for them. And it really does show the sort of young guns are now coming through in Counter-Strike. We've seen the same, obviously, in Fnatic for quite a while with Brolin, who throughout the series we saw today, even though they got eliminated, he was definitely their best player, I would say. Yeah, and where we see it in Heroic at the moment with Stown, it really is just the time to bring in the young blood. And now the Ninjas, a team renowned pretty much for like sticking to their guns and sticking with the roster they had for such a long time, have now got rid of Dennis and will be bringing in Plopsky. So that's it. That's definitely an exciting change.
Just to give you guys also a quick update, what's been happening all around the other parts of the bracket. FaZe Clan did beat North 2-1. After North did take map 1, they were able to come back and take the next 2 straight. And then we had, or have actually at the moment, Hellraisers versus Mouse Sports. That's over on the mainstream. Currently, Mouse Sports do have a 1-0 lead. Just to give you an idea of the maps we have going down there. It's Mirage, Nuke, and Inferno. So currently, Mouse Sports in the lead on the CT side at a 1-0. I'm actually curious to see where this Mouse Sports team goes. And I was actually reading Twitter in one of our breaks, and Maniac, he was tweeting away as he does, talking about, he found the perfect analogy for Mouse Sports. It's like when you're trying to cook something. I'm trying to recall some memories, so I'm sorry if I don't say it correctly, but I'm paraphrasing. You're trying to cook something, and you take these ingredients you never thought would come together really well and put out like a decent, tasty meal, but it does. That's Mouse Sports. And I'm curious to see how Rox is going to do within the team. Frozen, Rops, Kerrigan as well. I actually thought when Kerrigan first went to Mouse Sports, that was going to be a temporary thing. I want to say a lot of people out there thought it was going to be temporary, but he seems to be melding within the team pretty well. And then, of course, Chris J, the solid rock who's been with them since, I believe, 2012, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that's another one, another young talent that you could bring up, Frozen. He is a player that, well, basically played within his domestic scene for quite a while with his team, and then obviously he got kind of screwed by the changes. Like if he basically went to an MDL finals where if he wins, he was too young to be able to play in Pro League, and if he loses, they then change the MDL rules, so he was also too young to be able to play in MDL anymore. So it was like, well, what's the point? Yeah, I could help my team qualify, but that is about it. But yeah, I'm very happy to see him also doing well within that Mouse Sports roster. And
it's so weird because you had like Kirby, like back in my day when I was counting CS more consistently, he was like the new blood coming in, and now he's like one of like, not necessarily an old guard. He's not your Olafs, he's not your Crims, but he's one of like the guys who's been around the scene for such a long time now. And then you get these 15-year-olds who can do more with the mouse and keyboard than I can do in my entire life with anything.
I've heard you're pretty poor with your hands. Here we go though.
Yeah, your
back
mom wasn't too approving of it.
It is going to be Vice again with this aggression that seemed to be successful. Shox. Again, trading, though. It's pretty much the same scenario we had on the other side with the battle between Shox and Vice. Amanek catches Rush as they look to barrel in towards this site once again. The A site has been kind to G2. And Automatic and Golden are just left wondering what went wrong. They're going to have to go back into just saving once again after finally getting around on the board. And you can see Shox is ready and waiting. He especially has the money to buy into the next round. And is he going to go through this smoke? He is. I think he's just too late to catch automatic, but he does at least have the information. And Golden...
What was he running back for? What could he have possibly been running back there for?
I don't know. Maybe utility? Or what? I don't know what gun he was holding when he died.
AK.
Then I really don't know.
Yeah, not sure either. And I don't think Automatics have a chance to survive here. Op in hand, and fortunately, while he's scoped in, he can't see Jax, who's lurking off to the side. And now G2 put themselves 2 away from tying things up with Cloud9. And we, in the break, we're like, all right, ready for a third mapper? Because with the way Cloud9 were playing, we're expecting this to go their way. But G2 has been really able to step up. Again, Kenny, ignoring him, because he has, well, he got only a couple kills so far on the T side. He had 1 kill for the longest time. Actually, 0 kills for the longest time. I think it was 0 and 6 at one point on the CT side. Everyone else has been doing a fairly good job here. Almanac, Shox, and Jax, all 3 of them have been really helping carry the burden so far of G2. Oh. What?
Don't call Kenny a burden.
I'm not calling him a burden, but the burden of the first half result of 11-4.
Such a bully, Jason.
I love Kenny.
Yeah.
I would do anything for him if you asked me.
Okay.
Almost anything.
Okay.
Get your mind out of the gutter, Tom.
Oh, yeah, me.
Okay, grabbing machine, come on.
That basically is what Donald Trump is. Here we go. Push in towards the site. It's only pistols this time. Oh. Not going to spot anything. Golden just around, and Kenny's flick won't connect. The other 2 players on the site already so desperately low. But even just their presence alone is enough to force them back. Nice nade over the top. I really like that nade. You sort of bounce it off the skybox, and Lucky's been hit to 44 HP. Now G2 look to try and head back into their bread and butter, the A site. It has been hugely successful for them so far in their T-side plays. Again, we see these sort of close angle positions utilized just purely based off having pistols. Not a whole lot of utility left for G2, just the smokes, which will be enough to section off some of the positions around the map. Push into the site. Jax isn't going to check the right corner, but Kenny will be there to trade. Automatic, only good for 1. And again, this A site will fall. Understandable this time. It was only pistols available, but with a matter of seconds left, Shox will be there to get the plant. And Vice and Golden, no armor, no utility, and not really much hope.
You are definitely like the worst hype man out there. I definitely don't want to go to bar with you and have you try to hype me up. But to be fair, you're right. You were definitely right indeed. And now G2 are 1 round away.
I'm not an optimist. I'm not a pessimist. I'm a realist.
I thought of a different word to use, but I don't know if I can say it on air.
I can guess.
How many letters?
8?
Sure.
Beginning with A.
A what letter? Anyways, let's move on. Let's move on. That was definitely 4 letters more than I thought I needed to describe. But we're going into Cloud9 with a bye. Utility still looking good, though. They still have a op in the hands of Automatic, who's been relatively quiet, besides the nice double kill, the collateral he did get down in middle. He hasn't been able to be too effective, but hasn't really needed to be as much.
Here we go again.
And they're going to be overwhelmed into the site. They do have the rotations coming in from behind.
Much nade damage. Oh, still, though, they get both kills. Automatic left on the site. Lucky has been phenomenal. Again, just opening up this site. Vice will be at least able to get one back. Kenny falls, but they're already in their after plant positions. Golden at least has a little bit of utility and is slowly making his rotation around. Bear in mind, at 11-4 scoreline, potentially about to be equalized by G2, having a fantastic T-side themselves. And there, the CTs are just going to have to opt to back out of this one again. Their A site is weak.
Is there more to that? Like, I don't know. I feel like you were building me up for something. Their A site is weak.
Yeah. No, that's it.
Okay.
Not really got any like positive spin on it. They do a lot of nade damage over on B. And that
Can
was
we check utility damage actually again? 627 for automatic. What? That's more damage than I get in a standard game.
I believe that.
Okay, well, 78 is more like you. Okay, calm down. No, that is insane for automatic. And I wish they could spread it between HE damage and Molotov damage.
Well, I think in that round, a lot of it was the incendiary that they threw down. That was the surprising fact that they did so much. Now G2 just going to go and try and brute force B again. It's lucky to get the opener, but there is going to be a switch up. I think they gambled the fact that Cloud9 are now going to start sending more players deep into this A site just because of how quick they've been pushing on that side of the map. But the 1-for-1 trade, not really in their favor, to be honest, because Lucky's taken so much damage. They can at least look to try and split these remaining players.
There is something I want to mention, by the way, Tom, is we talked so negatively about Kenny in the first half on the CT side, the AWP, but to be fair, automatic has been just as unimpactful as Kenny was on CT side. And I'm starting to think it's just maybe due to the way the teams are playing the T sides out. Like automatic got a double kill, great. But since then, even before then, not really much of anything. He's been overwhelmed in the site multiple times, just like Kenny was. And
oh, no. They've gambled wrong. They're looking like they're setting up more for a retake play. Automatic, there's no smoke. They actually just try and fight in, but, well, to be fair, it works in one aspect. Automatic now trying to prove you wrong, but will be isolated by the smoke. It's one of the best positions we've actually seen Cloud9 in a while. They don't have any incendiaries, but they've got a couple of HEs they can look to just try and do damage with. Automatic going to go pushing through. The flashbang doesn't leave anybody blind.
Did they know he got through?
Looks like it. Yeah, Amanek going to shoot him through the wall, and while Cajun will be able to trade things back at least. However, Amanek still going strong, even able to fade away as Shocks, well, just pummels Cajun, and that's going to leave G2 now in the lead. They have lost one round this half, and other than that, it's been flawless.
I'm really worried for Cloud9 if we get on over to Overpass, or when we get on to Overpass, if Kenny starts hitting shots, because G2 are able to pull back this kind of lead with Kenny still on 9 kills only. That's going to be a scary thing if he starts playing to the level of his teammates.
Yeah, and Overpass is an Orpa's paradise. It's probably one of the best maps for Orpa's just overall. Like, the ability to just move around the toilets. It's always going to be an impactful position. Double nade once again. Do a lot of damage onto Lucky. But if you look at the rest of the buy, it isn't a particularly pretty picture. Just a few pistols, plenty of smokes, but once more we're seeing this play towards the A site.
No one's in pit.
Just looking to jump through. Will actually be rushed to find the kill. Amanek with one, spots out automatic as well, so the information's there at least, and Kenny is going to chime in with a double of his own. Leaves Golden just around the edge of the smoke and bullets flying past his face and even doing a little bit of damage themselves. There's a bit of a gap.
Oh, I was waiting for that because Kenny stood up right after planting. If Golden was still holding that angle, that could have been the head taken off of him. However, he gets it in the end anyways. 2-on-3. There is a possibility. No kit, though, in the hands of Cloud9 at the moment. And Vice going to be lucky here. Takes down at least one member of G2, but Omnic's still going to be alive. He's going to be up against Vice. He knows where he is, and he gets the kill. Omnic gets 3, and G2 now are up 14-12. Able to take 10 out of the last 11 rounds. And the difference is, if you look at, like for instance on HLTV, or you look at the scoreboard, like how they've done it. Massive streaks. 5 rounds, 1 loss, 5 rounds. We look on the other hand, Cloud9, 3 rounds lost, 2 rounds lost, 2 rounds lost, 3 rounds lost. So obviously, like, G2 were fighting a lot better when it came to holding on the CT side, but these streaks they're pulling off on the T side is really punishing, but also at the same time giving a lot of opportunities for Cloud9 to go for these gun rounds to actually get, like, proper fights. So G2 are just able to win out on these exchanges a lot better.
Well, that's the thing that's more worrying, is the fact that because it's streaks and not just reset rounds, or at least like damaging your own economy rounds, doesn't roll off the tongue anywhere near as well. It's it just seems that must mean that Cloud9 are actually playing far worse, because at least there were damages to the economy, whereas Cloud9 have had buy after buy after buy. Cajun, he's hoping to try and do something on this A site. It has been an abysmal hold from them the majority of this game, and it is continuing to be so. They can't cope with this aggression. Golden does actually manage to get past the player in mid, though. However, Shox just seems to be completely aware, so I guess it must have been called out to him, or just expected someone to push in that direction anyway. Golden walks straight into his crosshair, and now Automatic left alone. He's going to run away again and just look to try and save this AWP. G2, this is unbelievable.
I love how instead of Shox dropping down to plant when they already had the smoke set up to block off Library and to block off Arch side, he just waits. I love that idea of just to wait there. You have 50 seconds left. You don't need to plant the bomb right now. If you drop down and he does flank you there, you've lost a massive angle to hold, and you've potentially going to drop the bomb or potentially lose on 2 people. But the fact that he stays there, waits a little bit longer, gets the kill, it forces the fight to be fought on one front towards Library, and they're able to get the kill in the end anyway, so Automatic wasn't able to save the AWP. And I feel like Automatic's been on 21 for a while. I didn't actually notice when exactly the first time I saw it, but I feel like for at least 2-3 rounds, maybe more, he's been unable to get a single kill. Not necessarily due to him, but...
He was on 20 for a long time as well.
Okay, so yeah, he's having some rough times here, at least on the CT side, but credit to G2 on match point now. Something I never thought I'd say after how that first half went.
Well, yeah, this is giving me flashbacks to the G2 when they had Scream in the roster as well, where if you watch them play something like Overpass, they would just brute force into sites, and they just had the players to just hit these instant headshots, and there was nothing that the other team could do about it. That was actually one of the ways I think they won the first season of ECS. It was a team that was never expected to do that well, but they were able to just off of pure individual skill. And that seems to be the case here. Like, G2 aren't really doing anything mind-blowingly impressive in terms of strategy.
Right.
It has just been, they've got the set smokes, they've got the set molotovs, and then they run into the sites and they get these opening picks. And there hasn't really been a counter for it. There's been attempted aggression.
How is he still
such
alive?
a messy fight, and while Vice ends up going down to the Glock, the success of these banana plays from both teams on the CT side have been minimal. I can't think of a single time where one of these teams just has bottom banana control.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, both teams they've been refusing to give that up.
Like that normally happens at least a few times per game, with deep smokes and just a lot of utility to stop them getting in. But yeah, it's a peculiar match.
Hopefully, if this is the last round here, hopefully we can see utility damage one more time before we do switch back to us after the round is finished. I'd really love to see if Automatic's been able to push past the 700 mark. Meantime, Cajun.B is able to take down Kenny S. Jax, though, wait on the other side of the smoke, looking for Automatic, who's going to come around the corner, and he just gets caught looking the wrong way at the wrong time as the smoke fades. Jax takes it down. Almanac takes the head clean off of Cajun.B. Rush might be the saving grace here as he flanks in from apartments. But with an MP9, I don't really think there's a good chance to pull this off, as he only has one teammate left with an AK. They do have utility. They do have a kit. But do they have the shots? And Jax, oh, okay, well, they're able to equalize things down to 2-on-2, but Almanac has been playing so well lately. I don't know if he's going to be able to be dislodged from this position, or at least be forced to not get a kill here.
Golden might be able to catch him, though. The timing will get the better of the T players. Can be left onto Lucky to try and close this out to stop the first defusal from this side, and he will do it. Of course he will. The 1v2, only a single round. Just look at that streak.
631, 442, 424, 428. Ridiculous numbers when it comes to
not a player under
this.
100 as well.